Morning everyone, or afternoon, whatever time you're watching it. So it's Sunday morning. Rachel's at work. It's about 9 o'clock. I couldn't help myself, so I've come on down, and I'll show you what I'm going to start with today. So the plot's looking alright. Need to cover all these raspberries up because the birdies are eating all those ones. There's a fair few on them, but yeah, we kind of, this year we're going on just trying to get the growth really and the strength. So, you know, if we get a few off it this year, it's a bonus, but it's all about next year for them. The cucumbers, I have put some stakes in, and I've basically pulled them up and supported them across the wires that I've fixed in. So they're basically growing upwards, not outwards now, which is good. They're actually, the last 2 days they've started to flower as well, so we've actually got some cucumbers growing, so that's excellent. But what I'm doing today, not really doing anything on the main plot because it's all had a really good water overnight. So I'm working on this area. As you all know, if you watched from the beginning, this was the brambles. All the way along here was brambles, as far as the cold frame that we built. So this was all wasted space, and very, very, very thick with brambles. They even came out further than the path. I made this out of old pallet wood, you may have seen in an old video, just to create a border for when we cut the grass. But before that, the brambles actually came out about this far, so you could barely walk through this path. So I'd say we've more than doubled the access as well. But nasturtiums looking good. So you may or may have not have seen, I did put a tarpaulin, weed membrane down on this not long ago, but it was just becoming messy and there was weeds growing up around the sides of it. So I've dug it all over, because this in the autumn is going to be a job for me. It's going to be our little bluebell area, so that's a long-term goal, and we plan to basically have this whole bit going around to the wildlife area as bluebells. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So I'm just going around, keeping on top of it and digging it all out some more. It's looking quite good actually. Those there, randomly, I didn't dig all that out. You may think it's a weed. It's not. Jerusalem artichokes. Someone gave us a couple of tubers a fair few months ago, and I just whacked them in here just to see what happens. And they're coming on up. So if nothing else, they'll be quite good for breaking out the soil as well. So they'll just stay in there for now. So yeah, I'm going to keep on digging all this lot here. The wildlife area is going wild. And although I want to keep it wild and, you know, flowers and stuff for the birdies and whatnot, I still want to keep it relatively tidy as far as weeds grow and stuff. When we get some more wood chip in the area, I'm going to get some more wood chip around this bit and just suppress it a little bit, and yeah, just attract more stuff. I mean, all this here was nothing when I put this sort of border up here. Now it's just gone wild, so there's so much stuff here for insects, and got flowers coming through. Yeah, it's looking good. But I've kind of got the knack of the dodgy hole that I've fixed, and it keeps coming away. Fixed, it keeps coming away. But I've got a trick to it, and it's working. And as you can see, it's got a fair amount of water in there. Yeah, it's going to come a point, I think. Oh, going out of focus again. It's going to come a point, I think, where if I can get another second-hand one, I think I would do it, and I'll just use this for something else, perhaps forcing rhubarb or something. I reckon that's another project I might do. But yeah, if I could get another one with a decent hole on it, it would be a lot easier, because the repairs aren't going particularly well on there. Never mind, it's all good. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep on digging around here and yeah, just tidy it up a little bit really, and I'll show you what I've done after. Just stopped for a bit of a breather. It's actually very humid today, beginning of July here in the UK. We've had lots of rain, but it's very muggy. We call it muggy, I call it muggy, you know, hot and humid. I've done a fair bit of digging. I'm not going to show you yet. Where I've been digging over, I'm looking at them right now. All the birds are down there and they're all looking for a free meal. Eat out to help out. So I'm digging it all up and I'm feeding the birdies. There's a nice big robin over there, he's loving it. So I'm just going to let him have a little feed for a minute before I carry on. Built up a thirst myself. Look at the size of that. Yeah, so I'm just out here chilling. Oh look, you see that? There's one coming through. That great big, whatever that is, poking through. I'll cut that off in a minute. But yeah, I'll show you what's going on in a minute. Well, right now I'm in the shed with the spiders. Really big spiders as well. But do you know why? Because Mother Nature has been really kind and decided to give everything water for me so that I don't have to do it. A really good water. So, I mean, I'm out here. I would say it's quite refreshing. But actually, it is quite nice. But I will go back inside the shed. Anyhow. Oh dear. Oh, I'm knocking everything over. So I think rain might well have stopped play here. Because it is really raining now. This video, you probably can't... You might get a good idea of how much it's raining, but the camera never quite does it justice. Oh my word. Yeah. That might be it for today. I'm going to gather my tools up and hide in the greenhouse, and we'll give an update later on in this video. Here we are again. Next part of the video, the rain has stopped. If I turn it around, we have the one you've all been waiting for. It's Rachel. She's back. She's not at work. We're not here for long. We're just checking up. And we are... Where are we going in a minute?
To St. Audrey's Bay, which is a really pretty, secluded beach, and there's a waterfall there as well.
Sorry, just did a little burp then, sorry.
We got a day off together,
so we just come to check up on things. So as you can see, just now in the last part of the video, I sort of stopped the digging bit. But I did get a fair bit done before the rain came in. And I'm just going to continue to do that. Not today, because I'm in my good clothes. So, it's all looking alright, isn't it, Rach?
It is actually.
Show us around what you're thinking. What are you pleased with? What are you not?
Really pleased with these.
Cucumbers are growing upwards now.
They're growing really well, and we've got some flowers.
We have got some flowers.
So.
I actually tied them up onto my supports last time, so they are pretty strong on there now. So they're growing upwards. They're about as tall as Rachel's knees at the moment. So as you can see, raspberries are doing all right. We've not got them covered, but we're not too bothered because this year is all about just getting them strong, really. But we have just munched a few, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. We have a pansy behind you.
We had a little munch. Yeah, we got a pansy. Hang on.
One little lonely pansy.
Get down here. These we grew from seed in seed trays. They've taken extremely long to come out, but it's starting to show. You know, there's more, like Rachel said, there's more little buds coming on there. So we just thought we'd add them in here for a bit of colour, really, because we're not growing anything in this bed at the moment. Yeah. So, yeah, we're not going to do a great deal. We've got plans for this wildlife area, haven't we?
We have some stepping stones as well if we need to get over to things like the bird feeder and flowers and that.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't show you a great deal of what I did the other day on the video, this video, because it was, as you saw, it was absolutely bucketed down. But this area here, along where that wire fence is, I dug an awful lot out of there of roots and stuff that were sort of growing on the line. We don't really want all that to keep coming through when we plant the magnificent bluebells.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So the wildlife area is going to be a very wildlife area, and we're going to make it even nicer. It's going to be really, really nice. Not just good for the wildlife, but really pretty as well. We want the bees to be around, because that helps everything. So yeah, it's doing all right, really. It's not a lot more we can show you today, but we will come down at the weekend and we will do some more, and we'll show you in the end of this video a little bit more, and we'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, we'll see you in a few days.
Hi guys, back again. I've just I'll show you what I've brought down in a minute, but I've just come down bringing the first sort of load of stuff over from the car, and something cool here. Hang on, let me flip it. Where's it gone? There we go. So the green beans, if you remember earlier on in the video, or possibly the last video actually, we had all those black fly on the green beans. Well, I've just spotted only one at the moment. It's crawling down here. A ladybird. It just keeps running around from. It is round there. There it is. I don't know if you can see. Zooming out again. Anyhow, excuse the camera zooming out, but this is really good. We've got ladybirds here, and anyone that knows their stuff, which we've learnt, that ladybirds get rid of the black fly. So I'm really pleased about that, because I can barely see any black fly anymore on these stems, and they're starting to look quite healthy now. So that's great. So thank you, ladybirds. Which is just there, you can see it now. Okay, so excellent. Excuse my camera, don't know what it's doing today. So we brought some more stuff down for the compost, which is what I do probably once a week. So all of our cuttings that we, vegetable trimmings and peelings, the guinea pig waste, all of that comes down and that goes in the compost. And also I've got two of these that we had potatoes growing in at home. They have now been emptied, and we've had a decent amount of potatoes out of those two. So really pleased about that. And what I'm going to do is just use the old compost to top up some of the flower beds or something, just to boost the volume a little bit, and we can add nutrients later. So I'll be back in a sec and show you what else I've brought. So I just got another pallet from a mate of mine from work. So my intention is to build a little herb planter out of that, I think. Just a small one, but to just keep it a bit contained. Similar to what we've done with the spinach one, which I will say needs a good picking because it's getting a bit crowded in there. I might even cut a little bit back, just because they're stifling each other a little bit. I think there's so much going on in there. I'll pick a load of the chard for the guinea pigs. So looking round, since a couple of days ago, it's looking nice. There's a bit of weeding to do, but we keep on top of it. Cold frame needs a bit of a water things in here, but they're still doing all right. Chilies, my little avocado also doing all right. The thyme that I've repotted, and the bit of basil, that'll also go in the herb planter when I've built that. I may do it this morning, but as usual I imagine my drill will probably run out of battery, so we'll see about that. Potatoes, That's the second crop. These ones are actually starting to get flowers, buds on, which the first lot didn't. So I'm actually going to pick the heads of the flowers off of these today. Tony O'Neill, one of the guys on the videos that I watch a lot. I imagine you've all seen him. He's really good, guy in Wales. He said about when he sees the flower heads on the potatoes, he picks them straight off because they suck the energy away from where they should be putting the energy, the tubers. So these ones here, first lot, these have shrunk back quite a lot. So what I'm actually going to do today, they are main crop ones, Maris Pipers. They've been in for a long time now, so I'm actually going to cut the foliage all back, chuck it in the compost, and then in about 2 weeks I'm going to harvest them. And we've got a big potato sack. We're going to see what we get out of them. We're going to put them in the garage, and then those ones we'll do in probably 6 weeks or so, I'd imagine. So all in all, it's looking quite good. Some of my runner beans are shooting right out even more, so I'm going to help them onto the poles a bit more again. But they're looking good. We've got flowers coming on the beans, which is great. And as I said just now, the ladybirds, Mother Nature has been doing her thing. Kale's gone wild. Amazing. I might have to actually raise those supports up a little bit because it's going to get a bit higher. I may even harvest some today actually for our tea later. Carrots are looking great. What I plan on doing today is getting rid of the brand new weeds in that bed I've created there where the garlic was, and I'm going to sow a load of seeds. So maybe radishes, some more spring onions and some more carrots. Strawberries are pretty much gone over now. We got all sorts of little flowers growing out of there, so I'm actually going to uncover that now because nothing's going to eat the strawberries because they have gone over. Oh, we got pansies. Pansies are very pretty and they have started to come out, which is cool. A little bit of colour. Not many of them, but I grew them from seed. So I'm quite pleased with those. There we go. Oh, groaning as I stand up. 35, feeling old. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with some stuff. Nasturtium's looking cool as well. We've let them go a bit wild, including everything else in there. But that was the desired effect anyway. So I shall come back on a bit and show you where I'm at. So it's been productive the last hour or so. I'll show you what I've just done with the potatoes. So I've cut all the foliage off, and as you can see, I actually dug up one plant. Look at that. So this particular one plant where this box was, as you can see, we've got many more. I count about 20 in this bed. This was from one plant which I cut the foliage off about 2 weeks ago because it was ready quicker than the others. But that's just off of one plant, so I'm really pleased with that, and they're about the size that I would use for roast potatoes. So that is enough for us to have our tea tonight, just off of one plant. And obviously doing what I've done here will harden them off a bit under the ground, so I can just dig them up as I choose for the next couple of months. So I'm really quite pleased with that. So that's a random turnip I picked. So that's the potatoes so far. So yeah, that is really good. The cucumbers have got loads of actual cucumbers on there now growing, and they're all flowering. So that's all going good. So this area here, as you can see, I made this out of leftover wood a couple of weeks ago because it was all rotten, and I'm going to do the same with this area here. So I've dug out all of the mare's tail that has appeared within days, and this area here was a real mess. And I think what I'm probably going to do is actually use that pallet that I said I was going to build a planter out of. I think I'm going to continue building this up because it's just wasted space otherwise. I might as well get something growing in it and neaten it up really. So, and it just renew the wood, so it'll last, you know, this one here I reckon a couple more years, that one there maybe 3 once I've done the pallet. So all in all, we're doing well so far, and I'll come back in a bit and show you what I've wrapped up with. Right guys, that's me pretty much done for today. A little bit of a tidy up. I'll show you what I've done. So I have rebuilt this end bed here with the extra bit of wood that came with the pallet, so I actually still have the whole pallet as well, so I can still make my planter. What I have done is I made it slightly smaller, so you can see where the old lot was, but I just figured it's a bit more space for us getting through here, because we're often wheeling the wheelbarrow through and whatnot. So I shall probably either put a couple of pots down or something right up against it, or just put some seed down, but I think it was a smart move. And there's plenty of extra growing room, and it's all topped up. So I used the compost that the potatoes were in the bags to top it all up, and I added extra fertilizers to it all as well, and mixed it all up really well, so just gets a bit more nutrients in. Wait for the train to go by. Same old. I have planted 3 rows of carrots and 2 rows of radishes so far in here, because it was just wasted space. And to be fair, we've not got many carrots planted, and we do want to get some going, so I've left a couple more rows, 2 or 3 there, and we'll probably put some more radishes in maybe in a couple of weeks, I reckon. That end one, I'm undecided yet. Maybe some leeks for the winter, get them in there soon. Again, I'm undecided. Actually, no, scrap that, because we had the beginning of white rot in this bed, so there will be no leeks going in there. It's all good. I've given everything a bit of a water, not too much, because we have had rain. I poked my finger into the soil and there was a bit of moisture, so I gave what needed it the most. Yeah. What else have we done? You've seen the potatoes. Potatoes, that's what we says around here. I've cut back the spinach a little bit because it was going wild. When I say cut it back, I cut some of the top off, and the guinea pigs will eat all those stems anyway. Just out of good water, and I've picked a load of the chard as well. So that's all good. Green beans, really pleased with them. Bit at a time, I've been training some of the things onto it, just trying to coax them on every couple of days. I'll just give it a bit more of a helping hand onto the canes. A few spring onions. Really pleased with how the cucumbers are going. We've got about 3 cucumbers growing on this one, and there's loads more flowers. And only 2 days ago I was looking at the others thinking, oh, we've got no flowers on it yet, but it's amazing what a couple of days can do. Raspberries are looking good, and the birdies haven't been eating them. What are they playing at? Look at that. Ooh. Hang on a minute. I've still got the thing on it. How very tasty. Right, that's a raspberry. Sorry, Rach. I ate a raspberry without you there. I think that's about it. I actually repotted my avocado that sprang up, put it into a bigger pot. So that'll be good for about at least 6 months in there, I reckon. I'm going to get it, when it starts getting taller though, I'm going to put it inside the greenhouse thing, so it can do its thing. So that is about it, guys. I am going to I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up, and I'm also going to pick a bit of this kale. Can't really see it, but uno momento, if I pull this back, you can see we have actually got some nice looking kale here. Look at that, nice purple. So I'm actually going to pick some of that and we're going to have some with our homegrown potatoes for our tea. So that's pretty cool. So there we go, and that is going well because we covered it as well. Something we tried a bit of kale last year and it like the spinach, it all got eaten. So yeah, the joys of allotment, and it is a joy, is that we learn from our mistakes. Some things have gone really well for us and some things we've made mistakes on, but that's, I think, the best way of learning. So that, guys, is about us done for today. Rachel will be back on the next one. She's at work today. Thanks for everyone who's already subscribed and is watching the vids. If you haven't already, share the word, like and subscribe, and we shall see you next week for another. Have a great day.